Ooh, I dropped my pencil. Okay, so first thing I'll talk about, the Avengers comic that I have been getting into from the 80s, starting with 1980, and I'll get to the end, and then I'll do the same with X-Men maybe. Um, I don't want to go any earlier than that, and I've heard like online that the 80s is really Marvel's like peak, you know. So it's kind of out of my comfort zone because normally I like to stay in the 2000s. I read like Bendis's New Avengers run, Meltzer's JLA, um, Morrison's Batman. I don't really stray outside of that. So I'm kind of, I like it so far. It's definitely different. It's way different from what I'm used to. A lot more like thought bubbles and narration, which is like kind of odd. Not bad. I actually like it. It's just different. I guess odd might have a bad connotation, but I'm enjoying it so far. I started with 190 so far. I'm up to 198. Falcon immediately left. uh, Henry Gyrich, who you might know if you've seen X-Men 97, was like the government liaison for the Avengers, but then the Avengers like broke free and are like, we don't need the government anymore. We're gonna act on our own accord. So first thing they do without the government peering over their shoulder is the only black person leaves. Of course, what else would happen? Yeah, and Falcon's like, I was only here because you needed to have at least one black person, and that was me. But you don't need that anymore because you're not owned by the government. So bye. And you know what they do? They replace him with a white person. They call him Wonder Man. It's kind of funny. The lineup, I don't hate it. It's Iron Man, Captain America, Beast from X-Men, Wonder Man, like I just said, Miss Marvel, the Vision, and the Wasp. And in this first like storyline that I've read so far, we also got to see appearances from Yellow Jacket, Ant-Man, Scarlet Witch, Jocasta. So it's been pretty cool. Kind of one thing that is weird, I guess, the names. Like Ant-Man is Scott Lang, but back here he's called Scott Harris, and Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, but in Avengers like 197 or whatever, she's called Wanda Frank. So I don't know. I know it's always being like retconned back of like, oh, is Scarlet Witch Magneto's daughter or not? And if she's a mutant and all that. So the issue that I just ended off with, 198 or 197, and I need to read 198. I don't remember. It's around there. Miss Marvel's pregnant. Ooh, and if you know anything about the Avengers comics, you know from what I've said, number 200 is right around the corner, which actually I have number 200 out in my living room. But yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's the trigger warning. It's the rape of Miss Marvel. Yep. She is impregnated and she gives birth to the man that assaulted her. It's very odd. I haven't read it yet. I am very close, but I know it's I don't remember who it is, but he like manipulates her mind into loving him and then they conceive and then she goes back to Earth, gives birth to him, and it's something like so he can be in the real world, or I don't know. Like I said, I haven't read it yet. I'll be back next week and I'll fill you in on what it actually was, but I'm not super excited for it. My face kind of hurts, so I'm not smiling as much. I dealt with like a stressful situation this morning, and when I am stressed out, uncomfortable, upset, I tend to smile. It's very counterintuitive. It did not help me out much in school from what I, told you in like last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Of my friends like picking on me and bullying me. I'm sure it didn't help that whenever they would say shit to me, I would be smiling at them. I don't know if that probably encouraged them. But yeah, and I didn't even know I did that until someone was like, "Well, why are you smiling?" And I was like, "Am I smiling?" Because I can't. I don't really notice. I'm just. To me, it just feels like I'm squinting my eyes, because I'm like pushing this up. But yeah, I'm smiling, and that's not great. It definitely got me in trouble a lot as a kid, like with authority figures, being like, "Oh, you think this is funny?" So a little side tangent. Next thing, the Terrifier. Not 3, but 1. Saw the first one last night. My friend came over. He very much disliked it. I liked it a lot. I just lied to you. I just lied to you. I liked it enough. On Letterboxd, I gave it 2.5 out of 5. Right down the middle, completely average, not good, not bad. I didn't love it. The best part about it, shocker, was Art the Clown. And I mean, he doesn't even talk in the movie. He is very funny, though. I have to admit. The kills were very cool. The effects, not so much. The effects were very bad. The acting was pretty bad. The writing was really bad. The editing was bad. I didn't know where I was half the time. But Art the Clown was cool. He was very cool. The design, I've been told it gets better because I did notice whenever there would be like a side shot, profile shot of Art, like it just the side of his face where that white cloth covered his ears, that didn't look great. But I've been assured that it looks better in the next movies. Kind of just it. Yeah, like the pussy chopping scene. Granted, I don't think I would have liked it as much if the effects were better because then I would be grossed out, like viscerally, compared to just me being grossed out by the idea. But I can still watch what's going on because it doesn't look real enough. If it looked any more real, I wouldn't even be able to watch it. I'd be like, ugh. That's why I don't love the Saw movies. I mean, The Collector was like, that's enough for me. I don't want to see more than that. But yeah, 2.5. It came out in 2018. Theatrically, it was made, well, actually, it like debuted in 2016, based on a short film from 2011. So it has a history, and it is pretty cool. Terrifier 2 came out in 2022, and then Terrifier 3 came out this year of 24. So, I mean, good for them, honestly, the people that made this movie. But yeah, let me get into my gripes. So the acting, it was bad. I couldn't tell if it was the acting or the writing, but then I realized, oh, it's both. Just the line deliveries, like, what was her name? Dawn, the blonde one, being like, "Hey, sicko, wanna come drive us home?" And I don't know, just stuff like that. That's also maybe that might be why Art is the best because he doesn't talk. ah, yeah, the writing was pretty bad. Just the lines. Man, I wish I should have taken notes. I could have actually written down the lines that I like didn't like while watching the movie. The editing was also pretty bad. I had no idea where I was. Like it would just cut and we're in a room. And I'm like, "Oh, is this room in a house? Just a building, a factory, a warehouse?" And then eventually they said, "Oh, we're in this warehouse." And I'm like, "All right, where? Are you on a street? Are you secluded? Are there people around?" Like I guess I never really realized how valuable establishing shots are. I'm getting a call. I'm gonna ignore that call. I really would like to pick up. That's my partner, but I cannot pick up right now. Get out here, I want to answer. You're distracting me. Sorry. Yeah, Terrifier 2.5. I wouldn't really want to rewatch it because it feels like they had enough content for like a 50-minute movie, but they were like, "Oh, we have to at least be close to," because it's not even an hour and a half. It's an hour and like 25, And I feel like they were just like, "Oh, we got to drag it out." So they kill the main character, and then they bring in another main character for him to fuck with, and then she lives at the end. Spoilers for all this shit. I mean, this movie came out 6 years ago, but still. I just didn't love it. The pussy chopping scene I thought was cool, inventive. I'd never seen anything like that before. Um, Art was really funny. I was really maybe that's the writing wasn't too bad because I was actually really surprised at how funny Art was. But I don't know actually if it was written that way or if that was the actor improving because it was mostly his faces. Like whenever Victoria, the main character who dies, whenever uh, Victoria is her sister that she calls like, "Hey, come get us." So she dies. So Victoria shows up, and when she finds Dawn like cut in half, and she's like, "Oh my god!" She rounds a corner, and then there's Art like covered in blood. Like that was really funny. You know, I liked that a lot. He was just the best part. I've been told that number 2 is better than number 1 by my friend specifically. He likes number 2 a lot more. He was so pissed off watching number 1. It was so funny. But I have a guy I work with that I told him I was going to watch it, and he actually said he liked 1 more than 2. So I don't know. The general consensus online is that 2's better, so I'm looking forward to it. Moving on. Legend of Vox Machina. Episodes 3 through 6 came out last Thursday, and I watched them. 7, 8, 9 came out today. I'm excited. But, so, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It was pretty cool. The gang went to hell. I think that's a Always Sunny episode title. But so Xerxes showed up from Critical Role Calamity, EXU Calamity. Very cool. Was not expecting this at all. I was watching the episode and they name dropped him, and I was like, "Oh shit, are we gonna see him?" And we did. And that was really cool. And it's voiced by Luis something Luis. I know Luis is in there, but I don't remember the actor's name. But it's voiced by him. So I thought that was really cool that they got him to replay his character. And we even got a whole shot of the entire EXU Calamity group whenever he was having a flashback. And it was in like that stained glass motif that the whole EXU Calamity, like their intro before every episode was like stained glass, like in different locations. It was really cool that they brought that back. I actually like that a lot. They played a card game that was pretty simple to understand, which is good because they have like 30 seconds to explain the rules because we're in a 25-minute episode. You gotta speed run through it. But I liked that. It was pretty cool. They were combining a couple things, like them going to hell, them going to the fire plane, AXU Calamity they threw in there. So I thought that the way they did it was pretty well done. We got a dragon versus demon fight, which I thought was dope. The gate to hell, to Dis, they were like running through that, and Yank, the murder man, followed them. And on the other side, throughout this whole episode, Percy and Vex were fighting Vorugal with Allura and Kima. Also, love those two. Very cute. So Percy and Vex were fighting Vorugal, and Vorugal had like made his way into the cave where the gate was, and when Yank came through, boom, dragon versus demon fight. That was very cool. Yank hit Vorugal with a fucking stone cold, like Steve Austin, like slammer. It was really funny, man. It was a great fight. And then at the end of that episode, we're getting a Bard's Lament, I think, by the end of this season, which that is where Scanlan, the like funny guy, the musician of the group that doesn't really have many offensive properties, he leaves. He's like, "No, fuck you guys. You don't appreciate me. Like, you don't appreciate what I do, and I'm done." So, because at the end of episode 6, they were all teleporting to Whitestone? Pretty sure. Whitestone, which is Percy's, like, hometown. And Scanlan jumped out last minute to not teleport, because he's nearby where they were before they teleported. His daughter is in that city, and he wants to go make amends. So he jumped out real quick. Only Pike knew that he was going to do that. So, but then in Whitestone, they get fucking ambushed, and there's a fight. And then at the end of it, Vex is like, "Where the fuck is Scanlan at? Like, what's more important than this?" As if Scanlan could have known. It's an ambush. You didn't even know. You know, fucking lay off, Vex. You're so hot though. But yeah. So in the home game, on the live stream, the whole thing is what's my mother's name? You know, my mother died right in front of me, killed by goblins. The whole reason I came. My Xbox just made a noise. I wonder if it's going to turn off soon. My mother was killed oh my god. My mother was killed by goblins right in front of me. That's the whole reason I became an adventurer. What's her name? What I think is going to happen is instead of mother, because they haven't mentioned his mother this whole show. So it doesn't make sense for him to be like, what's my mother's name? And they're like, you never talk about her. How should we know? It makes sense for the live stream because in D&D, you know, you're going to talk about your backstory. So what I think it is he's going to say, what's my daughter's name? You know, my daughter that I love, like I went to go see her. Pike knows her name. What's her name? What's my daughter's name? That's what I think the like twist on A Bard's Lament is going to be. Haven't seen episodes 7, 8, or 9 yet. They are out. I know that. Haven't watched it yet. I don't even know if I'll be able to watch it today because I get to hang out with my partner today. I'm excited. They're in fucking school, not high school, college. they're in college. So, you know, time is always being taken of like, oh, I gotta do homework, I gotta do a project, I gotta fucking do work. So it's just there's so much shit. I've already graduated, so I only have to deal with work. So I have a lot more free time. But yeah, so you know, they're coming over. They've only seen the first episode, maybe the second of season 3. So I seriously doubt we're going to be able to get to, you know, the third quarter of this season. But if not, you know, I'll probably watch it tomorrow. Man, I'll watch it tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. I don't know if it'll happen or not. If anything, it might even happen at the end of this season, like episode 11 or 12 even. Now, what I want to know is Terry going to show up? In the live stream, when Scanlan leaves, obviously, you know, the player is not going to just leave the game. So then a new character that he's playing shows up named Tyrion Darrington. And I love him, honestly. He is for me. And he's an artificer, which I don't love that class, but I mean, you know, it's cool. That's back when it was Unearthed Arcana, though, not really official, but still. All right, I'm getting off topic. So, last thing, Joker. I saw Joker, Folie à Deux. I think I pronounced that right. Folie à Deux, shared delusional disorder. Fitting. I got 3 things written down. Jazz club, death, a secret thing that I will tell you about when I get there. But the jazz club scene, my favorite scene in the movie. I also gave this movie 3.5. I didn't love it, but I liked it a lot. I didn't think it was amazing. I haven't rewatched the first one in a while, but I feel like I'd give that one a 4, so a 3.5 felt right for this one. Jazz club scene was my favorite. Just the energy, you know, like Harley was like jamming on the piano and Joker was tap dancing and he had like his bow tie loose and he was just like swinging his hands around. I just really liked the energy of that scene. All the fantasies I think were actually really well done. That was just my favorite one. The death scene. Yeah, I knew he was gonna die at the end. There's no other way. Excuse me. Oh my god, I don't know why I'm so tired. It is a bit late. I normally record these earlier in the day. Nice. Alright, got a text. Death scene, I knew he was gonna die. I didn't know how. So, when the fucking, like, it's a jump scare when they're in the courtroom and just a bomb goes off. I wasn't expecting that. I know I should have, because it was in the trailer. But I just was so engrossed in like the goings on, you know, of what was happening in the courtroom that it just completely caught me by surprise. But yeah, at the end, where it's like it's supposed to be Heath Ledger's Joker from the Nolan movies. Because after like he tells Arthur a joke, which I liked the setup of like, oh, a psychopath walks into a bar and sees a sad, lonely, drunk clown off to the side and says, "Hey, I used to be inspired by you. I saw you on TV. Can I get you something? I'm buying." And he's like, "Oh, if you're buying, you can get me whatever you want." He said, "Great. How about I get you what you fucking deserve?" And just fucking shanked him. Crazy, crazy. I was not expecting that. Like, damn, just in the hallway. But yeah, and then after he kills Arthur, well, like, we focus on him. He just dies. He just, and just like that, just dead. And then we're still focused on his lifeless body, and then the background all blurry. We see the guy take the knife and just cut himself up like Heath Ledger. Very crazy, because then the movie just ends. Very crazy. Was not expecting that. Man. I liked the Heath Ledger tease, I guess you could say. Thought that was cool. I liked that Arthur died. Makes sense. Now he is an idea. He is no longer a man. He is a martyr. He's no longer just a person anymore. And that's kind of what Joker is. Joker's not really a person. So I kind of liked it. A lot of people very much hated this movie. Some people that haven't even seen it, they're just like, yeah, someone told me that it was bad, so I think it's garbage. It's like, okay. They don't like that Joker wasn't cool. They really wanted Joker to be a badass and fight Batman, I guess. I didn't understand that. They literally, in this movie, make fun of that type of person. It's not making fun, but they point out how it's wrong. Like, even Arthur is like, they only want to see Joker. I'm nobody. And then these people are like, why are we sticking with this nobody? We want to see Joker. And it's like, motherfucker, that's the point of the movie. Like, I thought that was crazy. But yeah, I don't think this movie should have been made, but should is irrelevant because it's been made. Warner Brothers saw $1 billion and they were like, let's do that. Let's do that again. When they really shouldn't have. They should have just taken that profit, But then they sunk fucking $200 million into this movie, and they are going to fail spectacularly. You see what you should have left it alone. Like, you had a banger. Just leave it alone. Don't touch it. But they couldn't. They couldn't help themselves. God, David Zaslav, fucking piece of shit. Canceled Batgirl. I don't like David Zaslav. I'm really worried about the new DCU with James Gunn, because I really want James Gunn to, like, be able to do his own stuff, like strut his shit for real. But I'm just worried that David Zaslav is going to be like, I don't think that's good enough though, so I'm going to write it off and you can never show that to anybody. Like, that would suck ass. I really don't want that to happen. It's not just Batgirl that he did that to. Also, the Looney Tunes movie, what was it? Roadrunner versus Acme or something like that. Like, I want to see that too. God, it just fucking pisses me off, man. Last scene, the rape scene. Question mark? I don't know. I can't tell. And online I've seen some people also be like, I don't know. I can't tell. There's a scene after Arthur he's like, he fires his lawyer and he's like, I'm gonna represent myself and I can dress how I want, right? And the judge is like, yeah, you can dress how you want. So he comes in full Joker, get up, and he starts like bad mouthing the guards that are his friends, but they're guards. So, and he's an inmate, so they treat him poorly still. And when he gets back, they take him off to the side and they fucking punch him and shit. And they bring him into the showers and they throw him down. They go, take those rags off him. And then the next shot is him being dragged back to his cell and his face is all smeared and he got saliva just pouring out of his mouth. And he is in just underwear. Like, he has a shirt on, but he's in just underwear. And it feels very weird. Throughout this movie, they hammer home that not only was Arthur, like, physically abused as a youth, but he was also sexually abused by his mother. And they say that, like, multiple times, and just that, it makes me think that he was assaulted in this shower. But I don't know. Because there's not enough, I think. Like, you could even just view it as just they beat him up some more, I don't think ultimately I don't think it matters whether he was raped or not in that shower. Does not matter. The impact is the same. He viewed he viewed Joker, that persona, as a shield, and he felt more confident with that shield. He felt invincible with that shield, and then when he got back to the prison, it was proven to him that the shield is not a shield at all. It's a paper bag. You know, like it's able to just be ripped from you, and then you can get fucking hurt badly. And I think that whether he was assaulted or not doesn't matter. He learned the same lesson of, no, there's nothing I can do. Like, I am uber powerless, you know? And especially whenever he's thrown back in his cell and his buddy, I'll say buddy, they're chummy in this movie, but I don't really think that Arthur has any friends. And then his buddy's like, oh, what's going on? And they're like, shut the fuck up. And then the guard strangles him to death. And we just get a close-up on Arthur's face as he's listening to his fellow inmate just be choked to death. And there's nothing he can do. And I think that was just the moment of that whole scene of just, you can't do anything. You suck. You are weak. You are powerless. And that's why, you know, the next day at court, he's just like, oh, he's all sad. And he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to have a closing statement. Like, he just has given up, basically. He's going to get the death penalty and he'll be dead. And he's okay with that. And then the bomb goes off. But still. So I don't know if that happened or not. I went with a group of, there were 5 of us in my group that we went to go see it. I was the only one that thought he was raped. So I don't know. And then I only saw one other person online, or 2 people online, because it was someone, and then someone replied to them agreeing, that also thought that. And I haven't seen like anyone else think that. Granted, not many people are going to watch the movie because they've just been told it's bad. I'm so fucking sick of that. Make up your own mind. Don't just be like, oh, someone told me, so that's what I'm gonna think. Like, read it, listen to it, watch it, play it. Like, of any of this media, experience it for yourself. Like, why not? What do you, but it's 2 hours. It's like, it's 2 hours. Like, yeah, maybe not on a day that you worked a 10-hour shift, but like, on an off day, you don't have to watch it all at once. Well, it's in theaters right now, so you would have to watch it all at once. But it's about to be on streaming at the end of this month because it's not doing so hot. But I don't know. And I got kind of ripped to shreds on Reddit when I suggested that this movie is similar to the Star Wars prequels, in which I think as time goes on, it will be looked at more fondly compared to whenever it's released and people are just like, this isn't what I wanted. And it's just a very harsh, negative reaction. Where they can only focus on the bad things and they cannot appreciate the good things, which is like the Star Wars prequels. They were just like, oh, Jar Jar, Christopher Lloyd? No, not Christopher Lloyd, that's Back to the Future. Something Lloyd, Jake Lloyd? I don't know. The kid that played young Anakin. Just shitting on him, shitting on the Jar Jar Binks actor. Almost made him kill himself. He didn't design the look of the character. He didn't write the character. He just played it. He was an actor. God. These fans, dude, these fans are ruthless, and I don't love it. It's a little scary. Like, it makes me feel ashamed to like this shit, you know? Especially like Zack Snyder. I like his movies, but I feel like I can't say that because then I'll get called like a Snyder bro or whatever. And then I even tried to join the Zack Snyder subreddit. But I wasn't crazy enough, and I was like, yeah, I don't think he's perfect, but I like a lot of the stuff he does. Boom, comment got deleted. Nah, nothing negative about Zack Snyder. Huh? Nothing negative? I just said he's not perfect. This was a long time ago, so I don't remember. But yeah, it's shit like that where I'm like, God, you're so... And it's kind of like this with politics, too, where it's just like you're so worried about hiding the bad things, where it's like, not just... Everything has bad things, but just appreciate the good things too. Acknowledge the bad things. You gotta have a healthy mix, you know? It's never good to be an extremist on either end. Extreme positivity is bad. Extreme negativity is bad. You know, but it's just whatever. Whatever. I gotta go to Walmart. I gotta get new pants. Look at this shit. Hang on. Look at my belt is gone. I think my partner took my belt, but hang on. Look at this shit. Look what happened to my pants. That stinks so bad. Those are my work pants. Wow, I just put my face right where my fucking balls and ass are. Wow, that's kind of funny. But yeah, that's really fucking funny that I didn't realize. Wow. But yeah, a hole right where my fucking taint is. That's crazy. I don't know how long it's been there. Yeah, so I need to go to Walmart, buy some more pants. I need to get more face wipes. I'm out of face wipes. And then I don't know what time it is. Been recording for 31 minutes, so I don't know what time it is. But my partner gets off at 6:30, and then I was supposed to go to Walmart with them, but I'm gonna go ahead and go so that whenever they get off work, we can just watch Legend of Vox Machina, you know. And I want to watch the Penguin. I'm so behind on the Penguin, dude. I covered the first episode like what 3-4 weeks ago, and then I have not watched episode 2. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna pay with a bunch of coins too. I'm gonna go to self checkout. All right, I need to stop talking. I gotta just go do this shit now.